How to make the most of your holiday revision. If you're revising English over the holidays and you're already dreading it, this video is for you. Holiday revision does not mean sitting at a desk all day, rewriting notes that you'll never read again. English revision is about building familiarity, confidence, and exam stamina. And you can absolutely do that without burning out. So, here are 10 practical ways to make the most of your holiday revision in both English literature and English language. First of all, reread the text, but do it properly. This is the most boring advice, but it's also the most important. You can't revise English if you don't know the texts. I've been teaching for over 10 years, and every year I speak to students who go into the exam hall having only ever read extracts or isolated sentences, or even just a brief plot summary. Reading the texts from start to finish is a great way to revise over the holidays, and also, dare I say it, a fun one too. You're reading a book and revising at the same time. A really simple way to make this manageable is to break it down over time. Let's say one text is 240 pages and you've got 4 weeks to read it. That's 60 pages a week, or about 8 to 9 pages a day. That is genuinely doable. And also, I've been a bit cheeky here, because it's quite likely that none of the texts that you're studying are even that long. Macbeth, about half of that. Christmas Carol, about half again. Inspector Calls, maybe 67 pages at most. So it's likely to break down as perhaps a page or two a day. And you'll probably find that once you're into it, you'll read even more. And you can have them finished far quicker. Result. If you want to make your reading a bit more active, then you can do the following whilst you read. Have a pencil or a highlighter to hand. Focus on key moments, not every single line. Notice the following things: the decisions that characters make, turning points in the plot, lines that clearly link to key themes. And just a word on poetry. Start by rereading poems you already know well, and then move on to the unfamiliar ones. Every reread makes the exam feel less scary. The next one is flashcards. So flashcards are brilliant for English if you use them correctly. One really effective method is on one side, you write down the first 2 or 3 words of a quote, and then on the other side, you write the full quote out. Now, why does this work? Because firstly, in an exam, no one gives you the quote. You have to retrieve it from memory. The key to successful flashcards is that they have to make your brain work. So in the example that I just shared, you're revising your quotations in an active and engaging way. Another thing you want to do is to say those quotes out loud. English is very auditory, and that helps with your memory. You could even try dropping them into conversations. So, when your mum asks you to set the table, come in holding a knife and say, "Is this a dagger which I see before me?" Go on, they'll love it. Some other great flashcard ideas is that on one side you could write a theme, and on the other side you could write quotes that link to that theme. You could also do the same thing with characters, so characters on one side and quotes on the other. With that one, you could include key traits of those key characters, key moments that really stand out to you. And of course, let's not forget context. On one side of your flashcards, you could write down the events of the play, and on the other side, you could write down events from the contextual background and how they link together. The next is an iconic character versus theme table. Now, in my 2nd or 3rd year of teaching, I came up with what I consider to be a truly incredible form of revision. And guess what? I'm sharing it with you today. All you need to do is take an A4 sheet of paper, and across the top, you put characters, and down the side, you put themes. You draw yourself a series of lines up and down so that they're in their boxes. And in the blank boxes in the center of the A4 page, you write short ideas that link the character and the theme together. You could also write down key quotes that link those character and theme together too. Or you could even write small, brief moments from the text. This forces you to make links, which is exactly what top-level English answers do. It's also an amazing resource for essay planning because it allows you to bring your ideas together on the page. It's great for comparison questions. You could put, for example, 2 poems along the top and along the bottom and combine them together. Of course, it allows you to see gaps in your knowledge really quickly, and that shows you where to target your revision. Just remember, if a box is empty, that's your next revision target. You can also do this for plays, for poems, for novels. You can even do it for creative writing if you place creative techniques along the top and down the side and try to combine them together. a surefire, great way to revise. Now the next is for all subjects really, and that's little and often. It's a good foundation for effective revision. 20 minutes a day for 4 weeks is far better than one massive 6-hour session, followed by 3 weeks of nothing at all. English skills build through regular exposure. They build through our reading, coming back to text in small ways. They build through our writing, practicing again and again. And of course, they build through thinking about language. Now, even on busy days, do something small. It all adds up. And always aim for a solid 8 hours of sleep. As you approach exams, you'll find people talking up staying late into the night until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. At that time of day, nothing will be going in. You're better off getting some rest and letting your brain process all that you've achieved that day. Now the next is watching film versions, but please do be careful. Watching adaptations can help, but only if they're accurate. Some of the versions that you'll find online, they may cut out key characters. The endings might change. They might even oversimplify the key themes, and the themes are, of course, a big part of success at GCSE. Just to give you an example, some Romeo and Juliet versions downplay the fate element, or, in the case of Baz Luhrmann's iconic adaptation, they replace swords with guns and horses with cars. You don't want to accidentally write about either of those, so do be careful. If you're watching a film version, always ask yourself what is missing, and always be sure to come back to the text. Don't accidentally quote the film. Instead, use the films to support your understanding, not to replace your reading. Just as a little piece of advice, with the Shakespeare, try and aim for those faithful adaptations. So for example, the 2021 adaptation of Macbeth is excellent. The next is to make time for friends, family, and of course, exercise. This is revision advice that you tend to not hear enough. Seeing people that you care about, going outside, moving your body, all of these things help to improve focus, they help to reduce your stress, and of course, that will ultimately mean that your revision is far more effective. You are not a robot, right? Rest is part of revision. It's always good to fill up your cup, as they say. It will serve you well in the long run. The next is to read one poem a day. And this is one of the easiest habits that you can build. Every day, read a poem, for example, from the website Poetry Foundation. You don't need to analyze it, you just read it, you notice what it's about, and you pick a line out that you find interesting. On the one hand, you might find a poem that really speaks to you when you need it most. But most of all, over time, this is going to massively improve your confidence with the unseen poetry component of GCSE and, of course, A-level literature. Reading poetry will help to expand your vocabulary, and it will also help to improve your sensitivity to small choices of language. The next is to listen to poetry readings. Now, listening to poems being read aloud helps you to understand the tone of the poem through the way it's delivered, the rhythm of the words upon the page, and of course the emotion that the poet intended to convey in their piece of art. Now in fact, here at My Headspace, we've produced our own poetry readings for the 15 Power and Conflict poems, as well as the 15 Love and Relationships poems too. They're a great way to immerse yourself in the language with a touch of original music too, to really draw you in. You can pop them on in the background whilst you make a smoothie, or even fall asleep to them at night. Remember, poetry is meant to be heard, not just read. It's low-effort revision that still counts. The next thing is to stick quotes up around your house. Now, this might feel silly, but it really does work. Put them on your mirror. Put them on your desk. Stick them on your wardrobe before you pull out your favorite t-shirt. And of course, leave them near your bed. Seeing them regularly is going to help them to stick without you actively revising. Change them every week or two so your brain doesn't tune them out. And get your family to test you on them. Make them a part of it too. Don't go it alone. Last but not least, you're going to want to practice timed exam questions. Exams are as much about stamina as they are about knowledge. So you'll want to start small, give yourself 10 minutes for a paragraph, maybe 20 minutes for a slightly longer response, and then you're going to want to gradually build yourself up to full questions, full essays, and of course, you can use our resources on My Resources to help you with this, because we have incredible exam questions for you to use right away. All of this will serve to train you in your writing speed, to improve your focus, and ultimately help you to plan under pressure. By the time exams come around, it won't feel like a shock. So, holiday revision doesn't need to be miserable. If you keep it consistent, keep it manageable, and if you balance it with rest, you'll go back to school feeling calmer, more confident, and far more prepared. And if you're a GCSE student, we have something extra special just for you. This Easter, we're running our Easter revision courses across both English language and English literature, and of course, all of our other great subjects here at My EdSpace. You can sign up now for free for the first few lessons and find out even more information about the great things that we'll be helping you with this Easter in the link in the description. Hit it now to find out more.